Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast on a sunny side summer Thursday. We are coming at you live on this sunny side summer Thursday within the CHGO Bears Podcast with the one and only Nicholas Moreano and my hero, my rock, my stability, my hero, Gregory P. Allen Braggs. Head to Sunny. Yeah, I just let that.
Talk to me.
I didn't even say any of that.
Don't
that
talk
just
to
happened. Head to Sunnyside.shop for the nearest Sunnyside cannabis dispensary. Use the code HICHGO for 35% off your first order. We are hooking you up. Use that code HICHGO. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and over or an Illinois medical card holder. All right. First of all, OTA day 2 that we get to see is tomorrow. We will be there. We are excited. We can't wait to see the new and improved Chicago Bears tomorrow. But there is video coming out from training camp this week, or OTAs this week, excuse me. Did you say we need it?
Yeah, we needed it.
Okay.
After you guys ruined all our fun last week with your reporting that it was a bad day. We needed that.
It was the reporter's fault, as per usual.
Yep. Yes.
It's been the reporter's
fault. If he plays poorly again tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm not tweeting.
Don't say anything.
Well, I'm just saying, then you are the common denominator.
Oh, okay.
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 No, that makes sense.
I mean, you are a
Makes
very
sense.
distracting individual.
For those who have not seen the video, and I know
Nick's distracting for his good looks. You're distracting for other reasons.
I'm very good looking.
Nonsense reasons.
I walk down the street and people roll
there
down their
is
windows.
a high probability Caleb had a bad day last week because he saw the stupid socks you were wearing.
Okay.
I told you before the show. This show is going to be something else.
You're
I
derailing,
warned you.
You're derailing the program.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get things back in control. I want to tee you up. I want to tee Nick up. What did you see on the Bears video of OTAs that excited you the most? Give the excitement rather than railing on myself and Mark Potash and Patrick Finley and everybody else.
Tyreek Stevenson's a dog. He's one of my favorite guys on the defense. So to see Rome Odunze beat him on a beautifully thrown ball. I think the throw is better than the catch, but we don't see Rome and Tyreek off the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. So it'll be exciting when we get to camp to see those one-on-one battles. So how he was able to get on top of, Tyreek. We don't get to see that in the clip, but what we do see is the release from Caleb Williams and the perfect lead
to the corner of the end zone.
It's a beautiful ball.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful ball.
The Bears tweeting out we could get used to this. CHGO Bears retweeting. I'm assuming that was you, Gregory. We can too.
Yeah.
Felt like a Braggs tweet. Yeah.
It was a Braggs tweet.
Yeah.
Good tweet.
Nick, did you see anything on that video?
Yeah, the one thing I noticed, just we have to kind of freeze the video a little bit at the line of scrimmage. You look at the right guard. Nate Davis wasn't there last time we were at OTAs. And he wasn't in that specific play. It was Matt Pryor playing the right guard position. But returning was Darnell Wright at right tackle. He was also missing at the OTA practice we were at last week. He was in that video of Rome Odunze catching the touchdown from Caleb Williams. So you have one returning in the offensive line. Still, we got to see where Nate Davis is at. And maybe he was there at that specific practice, but he just wasn't in on that play.
Nate Davis really makes me just stop.
Just pause.
Seems like I've been at his locker a couple of times, talked to Nate. Seems like a fine fellow, but just hasn't gone great to this point. There's no way around it.
No, that's what it is after one season, and even availability too, in the locker room. He wasn't a guy that hung around all too often in the locker room. So hopefully he has a better season this year. Has a clean head on his shoulders in terms of just family life and things like that, because the Bears do need him at that right guard position.
They absolutely do. All right, we're going to be ranking the NFC North today. We're going through quarterbacks. We're going through coaches. We're going through playmakers, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. But before we do that, I do want to talk about the Dolphins and Jalen Waddle agreeing to a contract extension. 3 years, $84.75 million extension. 76 of the 84, nearly $85 million guaranteed. Big dough for Jalen Waddle. That's $28.25 million average annual value, which is the fourth highest amongst NFL wide receivers. So
the second best wide receiver on their team.
2 top 5 wide receivers being paid too.
So they're 3 and 4. Tyreek is making $30 million, which is 3. Waddle is making $28.25. Waddle's got a little more guaranteed money, 76. Tyreek's got 72. This is the NFL world where everything just keeps on going up. A.J. Brown's the most expensive receiver at $32 million a year, 84 guaranteed. Then Amon-Ra, who was phenomenal last year for the Lions. We'll get into that. $30 million. And then on down the list, Hill, Waddle, Devontae Adams is 5th, Cooper Kupp 6th, trending the wrong way. Devontae Smith is 7th. Nico Collins just got paid by the Texans. He's 8th at $24.25. DK Metcalf 9th, 24. Deebo Samuel 10th, 23.85. Michael Pittman of the Colts, 23.3. Terry McLaurin of the Commanders. Calvin Ridley and the Titans. Stephon Diggs now with the Texans, 22.5. T. Higgins looking for more money with the Bengals, 21.8. And then 15th is DJ Moore at 20.6.
And that list is going to change too, because a big name, the best receiver in football that's not on there, Justin Jefferson, when he's going to get his contract. So that's going to completely change the numbers. And also CeeDee Lamb. So that's going to definitely shake up the list. But
Keenan is 17th for the record. 20.3.
Yeah. So, I mean, but
T.
DJ
Higgins
Moore.
and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Looking for their money, too.
That, too. So that.
And DJ Moore.
I feel like the numbers just keep going up for these wide receivers. But it is interesting where DJ Moore ranks on that. What you said, 15th?
15th.
Are some of those guys that you mentioned, but like I look at McLaurin, maybe, as a guy that, okay, we put the numbers, I think that DJ is probably.
The Bears are getting The Bears are getting good value with DJ Moore right now. The Bears are getting, hopefully, will be getting phenomenal value with their quarterback right now.
True.
The Bears made, paid Cole Kmet, but I think they got a team-friendly deal there. You're getting great value if he plays well in Braxton Jones. You're getting great value in Darnell Wright. You are right now. You're getting, if he stays healthy, you're getting great value in Tevin. You're paying your linebackers, and you're now paying one of your corners. You're paying Montez Sweat. The point being, salary cap wise, as far as doing this, the easy way is right now for the Bears. It's going to get harder and harder.
Right. That's the point that's the luxury the Bears have with Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. Not only is he more talented than Justin Fields, but he's going to cost significantly cheaper than for the people that wanted to keep Justin, trade back. That would have set up a scenario where if Justin did work out, then you're paying him a lot of money, and that's where the Packers are going to be finding themselves in here in a minute, where they're going to, I think they'll extend Jordan Love here this offseason, and the amount of money he's going to get, well, the nice thing for them is they've got a bunch of young wide receivers they don't have to pay right now. So, for the Bears, you can put all this money in DJ Moore, another pass rusher, as much as you can until it's time to pay the piper in the scenario that Caleb Williams becomes what we all hope he can be.
And you know what? We just mentioned Waddle, right, getting paid, and you also have Tyreek Hill. I think when you look at that situation, you are paying 2 receivers in the top 5 in terms of salary. But is that the best situation you want to be in? Because I don't think they know what they ideally want to do with Tua. Like, are they going to pay this guy? There's no excuse for that offense. When you have 2 guys like that, you also have a bunch of running backs that can do a lot of things. Like, is he the guy that takes all these weapons to that next step? I personally, we did our quarterback ranking show, yesterday, And we had Tua a little bit further down our list, and I wonder if that's how the league also views him, because when you have all that talent and you're paying that talent, it should be a no-brainer if you have the quarterback, but I just don't know if the Dolphins are in that position right now.
Well, it is interesting if you're Miami. Like, are you going to pay him, or are you going to try to do? We were just kicking around names before, and would you rather pay whatever you're going to have to pay for Tua, 50, 60, whatever it's going to be, versus sign a guy like Gardner Minshew for 15 to 20, where the ceiling is a lot lower, but the ball's coming out. You
have all the weapons.
You've got all the weapons, and versus if you pay Tua, now you're going to have to take away premium guys elsewhere. I mean, the Bears right now, if you look at who they're overpaying, you can really only underline two guys. I mean, would they redo the Tremaine Edmonds deal? I don't know.
That's a fair one to question.
But wasn't that contract front loaded? Like where a lot of the money's in the first 2 years and they can get out of it here?
His cap number right now, according to overthecap.com, is third on the Bears at 22.4.
Because I would say he was a second best linebacker last year.
You can afford that, and you can afford that this year.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then going forward, are you looking at it?
I could pull it up. It does lessen. You're absolutely right. I don't even have to pull it up. But my point is, like, would you rather have Tremaine Edmonds, or would you rather have spent a little bit more for Christian Wilkins? Wouldn't you have rather done that? Yes, you would have. I don't think there's any argument to be made that you wouldn't have rather done that.
Right, but you didn't. When you got Tremaine Edmonds, it was 2 years ago. You didn't know who was going to be available.
You didn't.
But you look at the value that T.J. Edwards is on. Like, he was the best linebacker for the Bears last year. So that's a thing when you're looking at those two contracts.
You have guys on great values. T.J. definitely falls onto that. And the only other guy that you're looking at that's getting overpaid is Nate Davis. Nate Davis's cap hit this year is 11.3. You'd get out of it, but again, that's also that comes to an end this year. But those are like. To Ryan Poles' credit, there really aren't a lot of contracts that you're staring at that's a bad deal.
I'm not saying they're going to cut Nate Davis by any means, but all I know is when Tevin Jenkins and Darnell Wright were lined up on the right side together, it was fun watching those two.
Nastiness, man.
Right, yeah, next to each other. I mean, it's a nasty duo next to each other. But I'm not suggesting to cut Nate Davis. They don't have enough depth to make that kind of a bold move.
Well, they could get out of his contract after the season, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you like Matt Pryor.
And Tevin Jenkins' health uncertainty is always a question mark.
Another fair thing. So, all right, we'll be at OTAs. Mañana, myself and Nick and Hogue, and we'll be doing a show. The show tomorrow is at 3 o'clock. Shout out to you, Gregory, for your performance last night at Elk Grove Village. Fun time?
Yeah, we had fun. Jake, Kevin, and I, and Cody Del Mendo from CHGO Cubs. We did on our little After Dark live special. We talked about some of the best bets to make for different odds going on for the Bears. And
what's your favorite
Rookie
one?
Of the year. I think Coach of the Year for Eberflus. Like if you're of the belief, like we all three, like when we had our schedule release, all of us, including Hogue, picked them to win over 10 games. I've yet to meet someone to take the under on the 8.5. So if you're taking the over on the 8.5, which means they're going to win 9, 10, 11 games, that means they're likely to win the division. So I like that bet, which means that Eberflus is a front runner for Coach of the Year.
They win the division. I think he would.
And like to me, it's all a package deal. If you're taking the over, they're likely to win the division. Eberflus is a front runner for Coach of the Year, and Caleb Williams is a front runner for offensive rookie of the year.
I would like to.
If you don't think they're gonna be over 8.5 wins, then you fade all that stuff. But I'm of the belief that they should at least win 9 games. And if they don't, I'll smash a table over Carm's head.
That's the second threat to kill me today.
Pre-show meeting.
About 45 minutes ago.
Oh, did you see Greg's tweet about you?
No. What did he say?
I tweeted that
I don't follow Greg Breggs anymore.
I will see if I can find it real quick.
Please do. No. But seriously, great job last night, Gregory.
Thank you.
Watching you in the middle of the table there, running the show, it brought a smile to my face.
Did it?
Not really, but if I was a good person, it would have. So There's that.
Greg tweeted 41 minutes ago, one day Carm will no longer be with us, and we won't know who did it, but we will know it was deserved.
That's my guy. Hey, well, while I'm still here, really happy to be here, and I'd really be happy to be driving my Chevy Trax, and really happy for our friends at Ray Chevrolet. Make Ray Chevrolet your first draft pick for a new Chevy this May. Hey, by the way, quarterback talk coming right up here. This is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna get spirited. Make Ray Chevrolet your first draft pick for your new Chevy this May. Visit our partner to shop their Memorial Day sales event going on all month long. Got a couple days to go here at Ray Chevy in Route 12 in Fox Lake and at raychevrolet.com. It's one of the top selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicago's largest Chevy inventories. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgate field goal. Wow, Carm. The perfect tailgate vehicle, football on the mind. Right now, get $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado, or lease the new, shiny, beautiful 2024 Chevy Trax for only $199 a month for 36 months. And, by the way, if you've heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you've also heard of the Ray Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, no hidden fees ever. It means the incredible prices we're talking about now, you can expect to see that the very same day you shop at Ray Chevy in-store or online. Shop the Memorial Day sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
Check out Ray Chevrolet, and then you got to check out Butcher Box. One of the reasons why is because you get peace of mind. Easily find high-quality meat and seafood you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range orange chicken, pork raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. Humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones, and it comes at the ultimate convenience, delivered right to your doorstep, free shipping as always, curated to customized box plans, and you also get incredible value, a variety of high-quality cuts at an amazing value, exclusive member deals, recipe inspiration, guides, tips, and hacks. I'm literally still going through my Butcher Box. Actually, yesterday, my dog actually helped me eat some of the great steak that, was just there. He addicted to the Butcher Box. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. But first, what you have to do is Butcher Box is offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link, butcherbox.com/CHGO, and use code CHGO to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out.
All right, so yesterday we did the exercise of drafting quarterbacks for the future, and we slotted Caleb Williams 7th in the NFL if you were drafting a quarterback right now with his entire future in mind. Today's exercise is a little bit different. We are drafting quarterbacks for the now, this season, and we're just doing the NFC North, which is a completely different exercise. Who do you think this year is ready to hit the ground running week 1 and put up the best numbers, have the most impact on their team? Which of you two wants to go first?
And now, are we doing this, Steven? We go all through 4, 1, like, I'll do my 4.
It's got all 4 on there, yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
do your 1 through 4.
Nick, you're up, buddy.
Yeah, I'll start things off here. So ranking the quarterbacks in the NFC North going into the 2024 season. I have Jared Goff here as number 1. You can't deny what he was able to do last season, given the weapons. And, Amon-Ra St. Brown got paid, and a big reason is because Jared Goff likes to target him. Add in Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think will even have a bigger workload this upcoming season. You still have Khalif Raymond on the team as well, but I think Jared Goff is deserving of the number 1 spot. And Jordan Love. Look, Jordan Love, I think my surprise, until a lot of people's surprise, he balled out last season. There was a lot of unknowns with him being his first season as a starter, but you saw what he was able to do with a receiving core that really doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver in Green Bay, but he was able to make it work. We'll see with the departure of Aaron Jones, how that affects the team. And then third, I had Caleb Williams there. Look, I think with this offense, there's going to be a lot of high moments for Caleb Williams. I think he'll get started off hot, And then last is it could be J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold, but I'm putting J.J. McCarthy as the fourth slot here. A lot of weapons there in Minnesota, but if you're looking at the talent level between like a Caleb Williams, J.J., there's a reason why Caleb was number one and J.J. went where he went. But that's how I got it going. Goff, Love, Williams, McCarthy.
All right, Gregory. I see.
This is where it gets different.
We all have different orders because we're all different people and we all have our own thoughts. Of course, my thoughts are the most correct, but I like your thoughts. Gregory, would you like to take a shot at this?
Yeah, I'm not coming off it. Caleb Williams, number one. Put him on the board.
Hell yeah.
I understand he hasn't played it down in the NFL yet, and I agree with you. Jordan Love was fantastic in the second half of last season.
Us to say it.
And Jared Goff is steady. Steady Eddie, dependable. So there's nothing. I'm not downgrading them at all. I think all of a sudden this NFC North is a very tough division with some quality quarterbacks in there. But at the end of the day, any of these teams would run to the front of the line to have Caleb Williams as their quarterback, and we have Caleb Williams as our quarterback. Again, we read it last week, and I'll say it again. This is from our scouting, our department, saying this is a prototype new age quarterback, high-level competitor, flashes rare talent with his arm, capable of making throws from multiple arm angles at all three levels. Can play within the pocket or out of it. Very good touch and accuracy, which we saw on the Rome Odunze dime ball that the Bears just posted to their social media. Dangerous runner, and that's where I think he starts to tip the scale. Jordan Love's got a little bit of scoot.
Got a little bit, yeah.
Got a little bit of scoot, but I think from a dual threat standpoint, I think Caleb Williams brings a little more than anybody in the NFC North as far as that quarterback. This guy, to me, Caleb Williams, we got the best quarterback in the division. I'm not afraid to come off it. I'm excited to see it for myself at training camp. I'm excited to see it all come to fruition. And as much as everybody's like trying to dance around it and say, it's going to take time. Everybody relax. Don't have expectations too high. They're playing for next year. This year's about getting our feet settled. Fuck that. I think Caleb Williams could come out smoking right away. Why not? There's plenty of young quarterbacks that have come out and played well right away.
For sure.
And I don't see any reason with the environment that they're putting him around that he can't do that. I understand it's a new offense. You can give all the reasons of why it should take time and why there will be hurdles, but at the same time, with the way the schedule lines up, with the way the roster they have around him, I think Caleb Williams is going to play fairly well fairly quickly. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Carm?
Well, again, different exercise. For the future, obviously, I would take Caleb. But I'm talking about right now. And I was debating Love and Goff, Goff and Love, Love and Goff. Look, Jordan Love, I put him 1 because in his first year starting, the dude threw for 4,159 yards. He threw 32 touchdown passes. He was picked off 11 times. He won a playoff game where he nearly didn't have an incompletion against the Cowboys.
Destroyed him.
It's absolute destruction. And then he had a tough loss against the Niners, threw a couple of picks, but that was against a phenomenal Niners defense. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is it's a huge learning curve that he had last year. Not only getting thrown in the mix, but getting into the playoffs, playing 2 playoff games, playing against one of the best defenses, a Super Bowl team. There was a lot that he got to absorb, and I only see him getting better. Right now, I think the Packers have the best quarterback in the division for this year. It's hard to put Goff second, just considering what he's done. 44-38 2 years ago, 45-75 last year. What did you just call him? Steady Eddie. If we got those numbers, if Caleb
but the bar in Chicago, we understand that.
Well,
the bar in Chicago is so low.
I'm just telling you.
That's the standard in the NFL. That's what solid quarterbacks do.
If Caleb Williams comes out this year and throws for 4,575 yards.
I will
you
pick up this table and smash it over your head.
Yes, and you will be saying that.
Number 3.
And you will be
Good
saying,
or bad things, you're getting smashed with the table.
Your take will be that he's going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time.
Again, of all time. I thought in
you will.
Bears history. I was going to say,
No,
again,
you'll
not a high bar.
You will say greatest quarterback. If he does that, if this year Caleb throws for 4,575 yards, so it's 30 touchdown passes.
That would be so much fun.
I mean, it would be insanity. It would be.
Well, he threw one today to Rome.
Right, he sure did. He sure did, Greggy. But for this year, and I saw somebody say in the comments, like, man, I think it was your boy Boogie, my guy. Like the expectations. I'm not saying that Caleb's going to be freaked out by expectations, but I do think we need to lower this a little bit. I think he's going to have a great year. I know we're going to have a ton of fun watching him. I expect great things. But to say right now he's going to step in and be better than these two guys is fairly absurd. Also, considering the weapons that both of the guys have.
I think it's only because of the unknown. It's only absurd because we haven't seen it yet. But like it's not absurd to me because I've watched Caleb Williams for 2 years. And I look at that talent. I understand there's a process of understanding the offense. I'm not trying to downplay those things. Learning the offense, building chemistry with your teammates. But at the same time, I understand what Caleb Williams' talent is, and the players around him are arguably, which we'll talk about later, arguably the best weapons in the NFC North.
You could make that argument. I don't think it's correct, but you can make the argument. Look. C.J. Stroud was the offensive rookie of the year. He was in contention to be the MVP. C.J. Stroud did not throw for as many yards as Jordan Love did last year. He did not throw for as many yards.
Who was better last year, C.J. Stroud or Jordan Love? So what? I don't give a shit about the yards. It's not just about yards. Right? But it's not just about yards, right?
I mean,
sure. That's fine.
Okay.
But
I should point out, C.J. Stroud played in 2 less games.
That's correct. He did. And who was better last year, Stroud or Love? I suppose you'd give the slight edge to Stroud.
It was Stroud.
But
hey, you took him what, number 3 overall?
Yeah,
Yes,
I did.
2.
So
2.
Oh, wait, 2.
Yeah,
Well, I guess Patrick Mahomes would go 1.
different animal. I was drafting for the future.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're just doing this division right now. But it's a fair underlining of the competition between those two. But so my point, at any rate, I went Love, then Goff. You can go back and forth on those two. I put Caleb third, and then whatever's going on in Minnesota. I mean, I think Sam Darnold starts the year. I don't anticipate JJ starting week 1. You never know. But Darnold historically is going to he's like lighting up OTAs up there. He always looks good in the preseason. It's more when the bullets start really flying that he starts to struggle. So I would anticipate that he'll start the year. So
I'm glad we all had different lists though too. Even if it was just by one variation there.
And we all would love to see Greg be absolutely
for sure.
But it's like I'm not downgrading Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's phenomenal. I told him at the Super Bowl, he's ruining my life. He is because he looks so smooth. He looks like Aaron Rodgers at times, the way he throws the football.
Off that back
he
foot,
looks like
too.
he learned a lot under
hurt him,
playing behind him. Mm-hmm. So I'm not downplaying Jordan Love by any means, but at the end of the day, Caleb's better.
Oh.
I'll say this for Jordan Love, one of the most painful things for me last season as a Bears fan was seeing him get better. Because early in the season, he could not throw the intermediate to long ball. And as you watched later on in the season, he got so much better at it.
Yep.
Maybe it was his receivers getting
It's
better.
confidence.
Maybe it was him.
I think
Whatever
his confidence
it was,
of understanding his windows.
Whatever it was the worst thing as a Bears fan we could have seen is he looked good.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another good point because he had his lull in the middle of the year and then adjusted. Put Big Cram up here. He's now superimposed my face on naked Greg Braggs, which is really horrible. I didn't think it could get worse, but Big Cram has done it. $9.99. Where's Bajan? Big Cram. That's an excellent point. I probably should have put Bajan ahead of J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold, but since he's probably not going to get an opportunity to play, I was trying to be fair to the division, but There is a video making its way around today about Bajan, and he just looks
I did see that.
so effortless, so beautiful, so glorious that it did put a smile on my face. Yes, it did. It absolutely did. All right, we're going to do coaches next, but first, because somebody's asking me if what I do before the show is get my sunny side on.
It makes sense.
It's an excellent choice. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside, everything you need to elevate your summer, elevate your day, elevate your moment, do everything. They've got the Mindy's, which is the James Beard award-winning, delicious, world-class experience, perfectly dosed for a consistent experience, as well as incredibly delicious. There's the Good News, which was created for great moments with the crew. We could use a couple of those around here. That's why each Good News gummy, rechargeable vape pen, and card is led. It just enhances the occasion that you love, like doing this show. Greg Bragg's not listening anymore. That's okay.
Watching the Cubs game.
Oh, he's watching the Cubs game. Okay. You're going to need Sunnyside for that, too. Head to sunnyside.shop. Use the code HICHGO at checkout. You get 35% off your favorite brands. 35% off.
Wow.
I mean, that's big time. Cresco, Good News, which I'm talking about, and more to elevate your first purchase. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 and over or Illinois medical card holders.
You know what sounds like a fun combination? Sunnyside and Whirly Ball. I think that would be phenomenal. And if you're wondering, what is Whirly Ball? Well, it's a combination of basketball, lacrosse, and hockey while being played in bumper cars. So that tells you everything you need to know. It's the most fun you can have going 4 miles per hour. Our Bucktown location has 3 Whirly Ball courts, 12 bowling lanes with lane side service. No more running to get your own drinks. A 2-story laser tag arena. I haven't played laser tag in years. Love to go play it at Whirly Ball. Private event spaces and 45,000 square feet of fun. You also can get your 32 craft beer taps, craft cocktails, and upscale bar food. Booking with Whirly Ball is as easy as an intentional walk. Just go to whirlyball.com/CHGO and click book now. It's been far too long since I've been to a Whirly Ball location. There's also one in Vernon Hills, which is not too far from me, but given all the things that it has with it, it would be an awesome, fun time to have, especially if you're looking to do something on the weekend. But you can purchase an hour of Whirly Ball and get 30 minutes of bowling for free. You must book with a private event to redeem. Book now at whirlyball.com/CHGO.
Love me some Whirly Ball and love to look around the north and rank some coaches. This is one that we definitely have an agreement here on last place. But, all right, Gregory, you go first on this one. Rank the coaches, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, and I've said this last year, I'm a huge Dan Campbell fan. So Dan Campbell gets my number 1 spot. Matt LaFleur, it was tough picking between the two of them. I think Matt LaFleur really proved himself. After Aaron Rodgers left, there was a disconnect, it felt like, at the back end of Rodgers' career in Green Bay. Well, once he got Jordan Love in there, and you saw the way he developed him last year, saw the way he developed those wide receivers, and that offense, and that outside zone running with Aaron Jones, they were clicking on all cylinders.
No doubt.
But the reason I give Dan Campbell the edge is I'm a big identity guy when it comes to coaching. And Dan Campbell's identity seeps through on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. Defensively, they want to bite your ankles. They're going to rip you apart. That's what he said when he came in, and everybody laughed at it. Well, I think he's done a great job of inserting his identity with the team, and they follow him, through the fire on it. And then offensively, everyone gives him a lot of shit and the failures in the playoffs from it, of his aggressiveness on 4th down. I fucking love it. His team knows before they get into the huddle what the play call is going to be. They're fucking going for it. We're going for the win. I believe in you guys. And everybody always wants to do everything off of the result of it, but I like the process. He's aggressive. He stays aggressive. He shows belief in his players. And to me, that's somebody that I'd want to play for. Somebody that believes in me. and you can, shoot at him that he's over aggressive, not smart, I don't care about any of it. Maybe it's the meatball in me, and I look at him like he's a meatball, but I like Dan Campbell a lot. And people say, oh, wait till the offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson is gone, and see how good of a coach he is. You know what? I think that identity will continue to shine through. I like what he's doing in Detroit. So he gets the 2 spot. And then, on the back end, Kevin O'Connell, 3. I don't really know what to make of Kevin O'Connell very much. I don't have, I know our guy Jake Flanagan here, our GM here, he thinks he's the best coach in the division, which I was surprised to hear. Matt Eberflus, he's got a lot to prove. I fired him 5 times last year.
Jake is looking over here in bewilderment.
Yeah.
But
tribute to the GM. All right, so that was
my biggest question with Matt Eberflus is he made some great adjustments as the year went on, and the defense got better. They ended up leading the league in interceptions defensively. But was that a product of Montez Sweat?
I think it's a little bit.
It's both. He's got to get credit for developing these rookies: Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon here, coming up into his 3rd year, is looking very good. But Montez Sweat was the nitrous oxide that really made this defense go. So I don't know.
Nitrous oxide. Wow.
You pulled out a word earlier. That Steven and I were like, where'd you pull that from?
Metastasized.
What?
I mean, what did you say that
nitrous glycerin?
You said,
is that what I meant?
He said who did you
oxide?
Who did you say was the nitrous oxide? Dan Campbell?
No, Montez Sweat.
Montez Sweat was the nitrous oxide.
Is it odorless, colorless, and non-flammable gas? Support combustion to the same extent as oxygen.
It leads to a state of euphoria. Explaining laughing gas. Montez Sweat made us all laugh?
He did. He did. Maybe I meant nitrous glycerin.
Nitroglycerin?
That's
nitro.
Just nitro.
I would have doubled
Maybe
down
just
on the
nitro.
nitrous thing. But we get your point.
Right.
It was brag speak. We got it.
Yeah.
We metastasize your grammar.
You certainly nitrous oxide, Montez. That was a Jordanism.
Was that a Jordanism?
It absolutely was. He's the nitrous oxide. That's amazing. All right, Nick, you're up.
Okay, let's rank these head coaches. I have Matt LaFleur as the top coach in the NFC North. I mean, just look at his track record, 56-27 as a head coach, and I just think of the ass whoopings he gives to the Bears every single time, where they're completely out-schemed. The Packers know exactly how to, attack this Bears defense and make them pay for whatever decisions they make. And look, Dan Campbell, I put a lot of weight, too, of the identity. I love how the Detroit Lions are Dan Campbell as Dan Campbell is the Detroit Lions, if that makes any sense. You could just see the identity that he has, but you can't deny a head coach in Matt LaFleur that has won – 13 games for his first 3 straight seasons. I get it. He had Aaron Rodgers, but even last year with Jordan Love going 9-8, winning a playoff game, that was impressive as well. And that offense, even though it doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver, it can still hurt you in many different ways. But like I said, Dan Campbell was number 2 on my list. I also have, after that, Kevin O'Connell, the play caller there. When you have the when Kirk Cousins had the offensive weapons there, obviously he was able to do a lot of good things with Justin Jefferson. That makes things a lot easier. Dalvin Cook had some good seasons in there as well. So him being an offensive play caller, I think still outweighs what, Eberflus gets you at this point. The Bears went defense while everyone else was kind of going with the trend of offense. And I think Matt Eberflus just has a lot to prove. We have the new look Flus, and this year could be a big year for him to, change his rankings in the NFC North. But as it stands, Eberflus is 4th, O'Connell 3rd, Campbell 2nd, and Matt LaFleur is number 1.
What was your toughest part of that whole exercise for you?
I felt like for me, LaFleur was going to be one over. I guess that would be the biggest one, him and Campbell.
So
nitrous oxide. In motor racing is to increase the power output in engines.
Oh, so that's right then.
So go fuck yourself.
No, it was dead on. It was spot on. It was amazing. You're an incredible
Human being, go ahead.
Consumer and user of the English language. Nobody does it better. All right, I'm with Nick. I put Matt LaFleur 1. I mean, look, the guy's had one season under 500, and that, by the way, was an 8-9 year. 3 straight years where they won 13. Moved on from Rodgers to Jordan Love. Gets a playoff win with Love. He's got 3 playoff wins. I know he hasn't. They haven't gotten to the promised land over there. Haven't gone super deep, but I think full body of work, you got to give it to Matt LaFleur. I flipped back and forth with Campbell and O'Connell, but I put Kevin O'Connell ahead of him. First of all, he was ranked the
Kevin O'Connell ahead of Dan Campbell?
Yes, I'll tell you why in a second if you let me explain. I know you're very passionate about Dan Campbell. Kevin O'Connell was ranked the second highest head coach by the NFLPA's 2024 league-wide report card. 98% of the players felt O'Connell is efficient with their time. The players believe O'Connell is very willing to listen to the locker room, so he's got huge connection in there. He was the offensive coordinator for the Rams when they won a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins got to a whole nother level with him. That mind, as far as pure brain power going on in the division, I think is probably at the top. So, I don't know. You got a super intelligent guy. You've got a dude who is well-respected in the locker room. I'm going to take that over the passionate dude who, whenever the Lions have been in position, for whatever reason, it hasn't happened. They had the amazing turnaround 2 years ago. And then they had to beat the Carolina Panthers, a 7-10 football team, as it turned out. And they got smoked by 2 touchdowns, ended up missing the playoffs. That sucked. And then last year, when they actually were going to go to the Super Bowl, he not only does he do the 4th down thing, which is fine, whatever. That's what he does. Gives up 2 field goals in a game they're leading. Ends up giving momentum back. But he also showed his ignorance in the moment. They were down 10 points late in the game. It was 3rd and goal at the 1. You got to throw it. He runs it. They get stopped. You got 4th down coming up. What are you going to do? What you're not going to do is call timeout. So you have to go and kick an onside kick. Instead, he calls timeout, goes down to 2 timeouts, runs it again, then he's got to do an onside kick. They don't get it. Season over, 34-31. That is coaching malpractice. And in the moment, which is one of my things about Eberflus, which I'll get to, you need substance and intelligence and perspective. I don't even care that he went for it on the 3rd and 1 run it. That's fine. But if you don't get it, then you got to have another play called, bam, right up to the line. You can have 40 seconds and 3 timeouts. You can't have 50 seconds and 2 timeouts. And if you don't know that, then you're an idiot. Like, with all due respect to Dan Campbell, who I like a ton, but I'm going to put him 3rd because that was embarrassing. And in the biggest moment, he just dumped it. And then with the Flus, like what for real, what I'm looking for is more substance. Like, I get it. You got nicknames for everybody, and you walk around, and that's fun. And you're going to be Johnny Positive Flus when you're talking to us. Whatever, no big deal. But like, there's got to be a certain level of substance and presence and leadership. And I don't have a lot of faith that when the Bears actually get in the moments that the Lions got to, that Matt Eberflus is going to deliver. In those moments, there's no evidence that I've seen that he's going to have that, let alone be like creative and think outside the box and do something where you think, wow, that was super freaking intelligent. Like, the defense got better. How could the defense not get better? You went and traded for Montez Sweat. Like, it's going to get better. I'm not trying to take anything away from him either there. Maybe a little bit, but that's fine. They got better. I don't have any problem with Matt Eberflus being my defensive coordinator, but as far as like, is this where Ryan Poles talks about like he's front-facing in front of the room and he's great there, so he gets to see stuff that we don't see. But, even like, and I'm nitpicking here too, but like his videos where we see him making the call, he had when he's talking to Velus Jones, can you believe this, Velus? Can you believe this, Velus? And then the next one, can you believe this, Quran? Can you believe this? Like, I don't know. He's just too corny, man. Like, I need substance here. Give me some substance.
It's winning.
And
That's
plus,
what we need.
the division has a bunch of good coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, so
100%.
he's got a little bit to climb here.
That was the one thing we came to a consensus on, is that Eberflus is looking up at these other NFC North coaches. I just don't see how anybody could debate that right now for Eberflus' position, but you do you.
Well, do you want to hear what our poll results are? Because I asked our chat. So this was actually a bigger blowout than I thought it would have been. So with 48% of the vote, Matt LaFleur was voted the best head coach in the NFC North. Second was Dan Campbell, 26% of the vote. And this is where it gets weird. Matt Eberflus was third. He had 19%, and then Kevin O'Connell in fourth with 7%.
I just think it's because like Kevin O'Connell's like the most forgettable coach in the NFL.
He's forgettable,
He's
but
like one of those guys like, and that maybe in Chicago, the only reason we know Matt Eberflus is because we're Bears fans, and maybe
True.
Eberflus for the rest of the NFL is that guy.
that same guy, yeah.
But Kevin O'Connell just, you talk about presence,
But Mark brought up some really good points about offensively what he brings as a head coach and the scheme that he brings. Like that's what most teams are looking for. I mean, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, his schemes, and you look at Kyle Shanahan, his scheme. Like Kevin O'Connell comes off of that branch from the Rams. Like that's what you want to have in a head coach, and he's got that.
I was going to bring that exact point up. He comes from that Sean McVay coaching tree. People love that. Does he get a little bit too much credit just because he came from that coaching tree, or is he that good of an offensive coach?
Matt LaFleur?
No, I'm talking about Kevin O'Connell.
Okay.
I think you got to give him a ton of credit for the Rams Super Bowl championship. You trade for Stafford, he put that offense together. Nobody else has that level of accomplishment on their resume in the division. I mean, he's
true.
You got to give him some props for it. It certainly doesn't take him down. All right, let us move to
real quick.
Yes.
The only other thing I'll point out when it comes to Eberflus, and you say the hits philosophy, and we don't see as much presence. Did you guys happen to catch the clip of Tyreek Stevenson talking about how he lost reps at practice like 3 days in a row, and he didn't know why, and then he finally asked, and they said, "Well, you weren't hustling, right?" Wasn't that what he said?
Yeah. Yep.
He got
into the ball.
Right. You didn't run to the ball, and so he wasn't told, and they were like, "We told you once, and we're not going to tell you again." So like, is he the best at the press conferences? I know last week you had your breakdown of his different answers, and you didn't like, how he was answering stuff, but like the players seem to like this guy. Mm-hmm. We don't see it as much in the press conferences. I had my differences with him last year, not taking enough accountability in the post-game pressers, making too many excuses, coming out after losses and starting with the positives after you just blew a game you should have won.
What's your evidence?
I do like the clip that Tyreek Stevenson said that he essentially got not benched, but his reps cut. And you see the development that Tyreek Stevenson had by the end of the year. So that is evidence that he is coaching guys up. So, is there an X's and O's that he has to get better at? Dropping Justin Jones in coverage on a tight end? Sure. Does he need to get a little bit better, more assertive, have more presence in front of the media or in front of the team in the huddle? Maybe. But there is evidence that he is coaching these guys up in a positive way.
That's a fair point. Look what he did with Jalen.
Yeah.
Wanted the ball taken away more. Well, Jalen went and took the ball away more, and he got paid for it. Like he gave him a target, and Jalen hit it, and that's a win-win for the Bears and Jalen, obviously. So that's another example. I mean, who else has gotten a lot better under Flus's watch?
Kyler Gordon.
Kyler's improved.
TJ had a really good first season.
I don't think we can give him too much credit for that. The guy was super productive.
Good.
You want to say Cole Kmet? You probably can. He's certainly not getting worse.
Yeah.
Right.
So how much credit Flus deserves for that, I'm not sure, but you can throw Cole
Tevin
in there.
Jenkins, I think, is another example. Now he's coming out with quotes about, wherever they want me to play on the line, I'm ready to play. That's a lot different than his tone a couple years ago, where it felt like he didn't want to be on the team anymore because they were moving him off of tackle and he didn't want to play guard. So
Tevin's a buy-in guy. That's fair.
Yep.
That's That's another good example.
Definitely some perks with the Flus. We're not. I mean, again, there's some really good head coaches in this division right now.
I still don't hear comments coming out of there like you guys don't get how like there's nowhere near the rhetoric around the Flus that there was on Lovey when
Montez was talking him up when he first got here last year. He had a few quotes, right?
I forgot that if he did, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Regardless, he's got a ways to go. Okay, let's do weapons. Nick, why don't you finish off our last category here? This is where I think you guys are really smoking some Kool-Aid, drinking Kool-Aid.
Really smoking the Kool-Aid.
That was a braggism / karmism. I'll own it. That was terrible. So where you guys are drinking the Kool-Aid and smoking the good stuff.
I'm sure there's a Kool-Aid strand at
Sunnyside, right?
At Sunnyside that you can smoke.
Yeah, there actually is.
I wouldn't doubt it. They got everything over there at Sunnyside. Let's start this off. We did pass catchers, and we did the top 5 for each team. And I'm going with the Chicago Bears as number 1. When you look at the weapons they are bringing into this season, one, they have the best trio of wide receivers in the division. I don't think there's much of a debate at that spot. DJ Moore, Keenan, Rome Odunze. You add in the tight end, and then what would presumably be a running back, but pass-catching running back with DeAndre Swift. I think the Bears are at the top of the division. Where it gets interesting, I think, is towards the bottom, but then you got to go with the Vikings at number 2 when you have Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison had a phenomenal rookie season last year. TJ Hawkinson, you also add Aaron Jones. Like, that is a good course for a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. Third, the Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who obviously just got paid. Sam Laporta, Iowa guy, love him. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is going to have an even bigger role in that offense. And then we mentioned this earlier with the Packers, like, for their wide receiver core, I don't know if they have a one guy. They have a bunch of twos that have been really productive with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. You can even add Dontavian Wicks to that. You get Josh Jacobs there as well. It's a good group, but when you put everything together, I think they're obviously 4th in my list here. But Mark, you said we were smoking the Kool-Aid. What are we smoking? I don't know. Should Braggs go next, and then you can tell us why we're smoking the Kool-Aid?
I mean, I can. No, go ahead, Gregory. Why don't you let me hear it because this is the full Kool-Aid right here.
Yeah, it's no question. The Chicago Bears have the best weapons in the NFC North. It's not debatable. Again, just like I said earlier, that any of these teams would run to the front of the line to take Caleb Williams. Any of these teams would run to the front of the line to take the weapons they have on offense with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, 2 of the best wide receivers in football last year.
Can I cut you off?
No, you can't. Shut your mouth. Rome Odunze, one of the top wide receivers, here in this draft class. I think he was number 2 on a lot of people's board. Some people is their favorite player coming out. Daniel Jeremiah's favorite player coming out in this draft. We got him at 9. Cole Kmet. Never besmirch the name of one Cole Kmet. Oh, by the way, they have a guy named Gerald Everett behind him, but we're only sticking to, some of the top guys. DeAndre Swift, great pass catcher, great safety option, so
catching pass in OTAs.
Honestly, the hardest thing for me was 2 and 3 between the Vikings and Lions because Kirk Cousins is another steady Eddie, right? He's not like the best quarterback in the league, but dependable, just like Jared Goff. They don't have him anymore. We're just going based off of the weapons, not who they're throwing to. But if J.J. McCarthy was the Vikings quarterback last year, I almost feel like most of us would have the Lions over the Vikings. Like, I think Kirk Cousins did help elevate them because of his dependability. Because I really like Sam Laporta with Detroit.
He's awesome.
So I think that the Lions do come close to tipping the scales with the Vikings, even though Justin Jefferson is by far and away the best number 1 weapon of any team
of all those
in the entire NFC North. But is that enough? Jordan Addison certainly had a solid year. TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones at the back end of his career, moving from Green Bay to Detroit. Not saying he's bad by any means, but he's not, prime Aaron Jones. So, I don't know. The Lions are close with Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. to go along with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then, the Packers maybe were selling their whole team short because they certainly played really well.
They're
down the
really
stretch.
productive. It's just, I guess.
We're giving all the credit to Jordan Love, but they made some big strides. Christian Watson's got some more to, prove.
Dude's never on the field.
Have you guys
Yeah.
heard about
Gotta
his
stay
hamstring issues? This
Yeah.
is a recent update. So one of his hamstrings, the one he kept injuring, I think it was 20% stronger than the other. So now he's trying to get them more leveled out, and I think he said his goal was to get it where it's only 6% difference. That's what was leading to his hamstring injuries last season.
He's going to the University of Wisconsin to get this scientifically looked at. So we'll see if that helps.
Yeah. All right. So,
All right, Mark, let's go.
are you saying over there that you think that the Minnesota Vikings would trade Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison to the Bears for DJ Moore and Rome Odunze?
I'm saying the 3 for 3.
There's no freaking way.
I'm saying the 3 for 3.
Oh, the 3 for 3. Okay, well, here. I'm looking at the top of the food chain here, and
See the list.
let's- Yes. So I've got Minnesota 1, Detroit 2, the Bears 3, Green Bay 4.
Wow.
Minnesota has Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the game.
By far and away the best.
I mean, not even an argument, going to be the top paid guy. Jordan Addison had nearly 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Dude's nasty. I mean, he's a really good player.
Anthony Miller had 10 touchdowns as a rookie once upon a time.
That's really
wow.
unbelievably unfair.
It's not unbelievable. It's
Who's
just
there?
a fact. I just said a fact. How is a fact unfair?
Are you comparing Jordan?
No, I'm
Addison
just
to Anthony? Anthony
saying.
Miller
I'm
was
just
the biggest
naming
pain-
other rookie wide receivers who once had good rookie years. It's nice when you have Justin Jefferson next to you. Keenan
He
Allen.
didn't have him last year. He played half the
Who are you
games.
taking, Keenan Allen or Jordan Addison?
for
one season?
For one season?
Yeah. I'm taking
one
Keenan
season.
Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, Long term, of course, Addison.
You
but
can make that argument. It's fine, but
I just did.
Keenan Allen. It's fine. Would I rather have Keenan Allen or Jordan Addison next year? I take Jordan Addison. And Keenan Allen's 32 years old. He's coming off a heel injury and doesn't have Justin Herbert throwing him the football this year.
So you're saying
he went for 215 yards against the Vikings last season. Keenan Allen. It's in the Die Hard exclusive.
I think for the
So you're
Bears,
saying
I think that for the Bears,
so you'd rather take someone who's young and energetic over
I'm gonna bet
wise and old and experienced. Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna bet on the Are you calling yourself young and I'm the old guy? Is that what you just did? I don't know what you
say
just
anything.
Did. All right, T.J. Hawkinson is. Look, you got great tight ends in this division. T.J. Hawkinson is a big time player.
Now, he might not be ready for the start of the season, though, because he tore his ACL late in the year.
Fair. But overall, I got to put Minnesota 1. And then Detroit's got Amon-Ra, man. He is better than DJ. I don't think there's any argument to be made.
It's like a wash.
It's not a wash.
It is a wash.
It's
DJ had Justin Fields throwing him the football.
I wonder what DJ's numbers look like with Jared Goff, like last year in that offense. They do the same. I mean, they work over the middle of the field. They love throwing that pass to
They're a
Amon-Ra.
wash.
okay. That's fine.
I'll actually say I think Amon-Ra is better. And that's no disrespect to DJ. It's
if
just,
you
he's
put
that good.
Amon-Ra and DJ Moore out there to NFL GMs, they're taking Amon-Ra. There's not anyone that's taking DJ Moore. Literally no one. I don't know. Really?
I mean, they do the same thing, I think. I don't know if
Okay.
they're
Okay. I mean,
talent. I don't know. They're both really good.
Amon-Ra's just a little nasty, man.
And DJ isn't?
Better. DJ's super solid. He is super solid. High level, top end of the number twos, bottom level 1. Amon-Ra's a 1, man. Pure 1.
So is DJ.
DJ's one.
DJ's a 1.
DJ's one.
Look who's been throwing him the football his whole career.
Okay.
Forget last year.
Well, yeah, but the other thing with who's throwing in the football, him and Justin did, by the way, develop a great connection.
Yeah, they did.
And the Bears had nobody else to catch the ball. He's going to get
DJ
the ball
Moore
every time.
helped Sam Darnold and look at the quarterbacks he had thrown to him in Carolina, and he was productive there too. So that just speaks to how good DJ Moore is.
Rex, do you think DJ Moore's a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now?
No, I guess probably not.
I think it would be a consensus yes if I asked that same question about Amon-Ra St. Brown. that he is a top 5.
I'm looking at, we're
know.
going to stats right here. 119 receptions for Amon-Ra for 1,515 yards, 10 touchdowns. To DJ Moore, 96 receptions, 1,364, 8 touchdowns. DJ Moore averaged more yards per reception than
Who's on the
Amon-Ra.
better offense?
They're actually pretty damn close.
They are a wash.
But
I'm
Amon-Ra
not-
had the better stats last year and a better offense.
Listen, I'm not saying that it isn't close. I'm not saying that Amon-Ra's killing DJ. I'm just saying that
He's
if
not.
you line them both up, people would take, trying to speak in non-Bears rose-colored glasses.
You're using like these cramothetical
Stats?
No, you're just
Age?
to support your
salary?
argument. Carm, to support your argument, you're just naming random people that are just in the ether. You're like, oh, if you asked anybody, they'd take Amon-Ra over DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Who? Bring these people out. Show yourself.
Who are these
You
people?
just-
Let me call up the
I can
G-
say that
Let me
too.
call up the dude.
Call up somebody.
Okay.
Who you calling?
No,
Put it
no,
on Twitter.
Greg,
Actually, that's
why
can't.
don't-
biased.
It's Bears fans.
Bears fans.
Why don't we take that out of it and just talk about who's getting paid, what their level of performance was. You could do the eye test too. And again, I'm not
The
trying to
age,
run
yeah.
DJ down. Detroit has Amon-Ra. They've got who's better, Sam Laporta or Cole Kmet?
Sam Laporta is a dog. And
Yeah,
I
Cole's our guy.
I
Don't do
understand.
that to me. Don't do that to me.
Cole Kmet can handle it. He's totally fine with it.
No,
Yes,
don't do that to me.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, right. This is part of the deal. Do the Bears have as good of a running back as Jahmyr Gibbs? Jahmyr Gibbs is flat out freaking nasty, dude. The Lions are good. They're freaking good,
yeah.
dude.
Who's their third wide receiver?
Right. So could it be? Could it work out that the Bears end up having the best weapons in the division? If Rome Odunze is
He had a touchdown today.
if Rome Odunze has a Jordan Addison rookie year,
Oh God, that would be crazy.
then we're there, bud. Then we'll have 3 1,000-yard receivers potentially. But that is a huge freaking if. If you're looking at it right now,
That's a lot of. There's one football, right? There's one football. You can't.
right? So and
Right, but like
Jordan-
Eric said in the chat, it's the question was weapons plural, not who has the best weapon. So that was the question,
I
and
understand.
because the Bears have 3 wide receivers that potentially could
Jefferson,
be number
Addison,
1.
Jefferson, Addison, Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra,
Jones.
Laporta, Gibbs.
Right, you're naming names. Thank you. I know the names.
Those are big time freaking names, dog.
Dude. And the
Dude.
Bears have big time names as well.
Okay.
Cole Kmet's been one of the top tight ends in football for 2 years now. He has been from a production standpoint. You're naming all these numbers, and Cole Kmet's been doing this for 2 years with an offense that's been inconsistent.
Cole's on the come. I love Cole. Sam Laporta is a better tight
No,
end
I'm
catcher
gonna-
of football than
I'm
Cole.
going to text Cole right now and tell him you hate him. I'm going to just tell him what you said.
We agree that Green Bay is on the back end here, but which by the way lifts up Jordan even further.
True.
Watson can't stay healthy. Romeo Doubs, really nice player, but not at the elite level. Same thing with Jaden Reed. Josh Jacobs is a nice addition there,
Josh
but
Jacobs, yeah, nice.
How productive he'll be. So
Noah D, another great point, too, when it comes to the tight end. Cole Kmet's a great blocker. It's not just when it comes to tight end. But in this exercise,
Pass
we were
category,
talking about
weapons.
weapons. I guess blocking is a part of their, like,
Their
I don't know.
to-do
We
list,
were
yeah.
we were really talking about, like, pass catchers. First, we were going to start with wide receivers. And then they're like, well, we got to add in the tight ends. You do throw to the tight ends. Then we added in the running back. So we weren't really taking into account the blocking. But we understand that all comes with the
You know what I got from this? Like
totality of
the NFC
positions.
North is talented, man.
It
They're
is.
talented with the coaches, the quarterbacks, the weapons around, and then it's just going to be a fun I think it should be a fun year just watching these teams playing for the Bears. It all starts in Week 11 with their first divisional matchup, and those last 8 weeks, I mean, you've 6 divisional games.
Let me ask you something, Nick, because your tweet has it just set Bears Twitter on fire, Bears Nation on fire with your assessment of OTAs.
You ruined the offseason.
You ruined our lives.
I'm sorry.
You ruined our holiday weekend. Like, our burgers didn't taste the same. The beers were disgusting because of you. And you said, it was a tough day for Caleb Williams. I'm paraphrasing, and there was some tough bad throws that could have led to interceptions. And in the last 2 days, I've had 3 or 4 people come up to me and go, "Is it true that Caleb Williams threw 7 interceptions and was benched?"
God, I've seen all of that.
An aggregator parody account that was parody, so it was trying to be funny. It wasn't a true report, but somehow this has become the news that people that report is what was followed and not your actual reporting, which was trying to be fair. But
he didn't throw any interceptions, so I don't know how it went from 0 to 7 straight. I had some of my uncles who, when you're on Facebook, shit gets circulated and shared. Like, no, delete that shit. That's not true. But what was the question?
So I guess my question is, outside of the fact that there was misinformation being spread against Caleb Williams, I guess my question is, does your expectation level or your optimism for Caleb Williams, did it change at all? Did it humble you at all watching that? Because we all weren't there. So it sounds like everybody was a little taken by surprise on how poorly it looked. Given that it's the 3rd OTA practice, nobody's trying to blow it out of proportion. But at the same time, did it bring you back at all? Does it change your record prediction? Does it change your expectation level for Caleb Williams in his rookie season?
Not at all. They were also missing 2 of their offensive linemen, 2 of their top pass catchers. It's OTAs, making way too much of it. I just wasn't. For some reason, I was expecting it's Caleb Williams. He's still going to be able to throw the ball and make completions. It was a rough day, but that doesn't change the 10 wins. I still have them projected to get this season. Doesn't change the fact that I think this offense could be really damn good. We just did this exercise. I got a little bit more excited about the Bears pass catchers, and depending on how you see it in the division, they still have some really damn good weapons. So it didn't change my perception of this team whatsoever offensively. It might take some time, but that OTA practicing didn't change anything for me.
I like this comment by Eric Beauchanton. Albert Breer made a great point, our guy. Been on the CHGO Bears podcast because he loves us deep down somewhere. If the Bears want Caleb to look good in front of the media, they can run practice in a way that makes him look good. The fact they're challenging him is a positive. I mean, it's true. They could be like, oh, the media is here. Let's run BS on at least in OTAs because we're there so infrequently, I suppose. It doesn't matter. They believe. I think everybody. They obviously believe deeply in Caleb Williams. Obviously,
did for you, same question I gave to Nick.
Yeah.
Did his struggles on Friday, the first time? I mean, these are the first times you're ever seeing him. The last few weeks. One time was at rookie minicamp. Then you get to see him with the full team. Did it knock you back any of your expectation level for him or for the team? Just finally getting to see him practice.
He looked so good in rookie minicamp that it was just startling to see it look as off as it did last week. So going into tomorrow, in the moment, naturally, your reaction was like, whoa, it just was. But logically, rookie quarterback.
We're in May.
Four starters were out.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't even care about the starters. Defense cared. It seemed like they were talking. They were doing their thing. Friends of Justin, pride in defense, whatever you want to put it. All that was going on. So, am I worried about what happened? No, I'm not. Did it give me an ounce of caution? This might not be overnight. Yeah, it did. But I'm not long term. I'm going to continue to lean on the number 1 overall pick, who at 11 years old was doing the Breakfast Club at 5:30 in the morning, who had an apartment out over the field at high school because he was that mature then, who in his first game at Oklahoma looked like the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, who's a Heisman Trophy winner, who has the level head of all level heads.
That's why the Bears putting that video out of him throwing a Rome Odunze, like, feed us. Okay, like
more.
We're dying. It's summer. We're having these exercises where we're arguing silliness to get us to camp. Like, feed us these goddamn clips.
I'm just telling you, if you were there and you saw that practice, it would have knocked you back. It in the moment.
You might have died.
It was that bad. It was
right. I mean, we're all right. Go ahead.
It was just. Dude, he had no idea what was happening. That's what he was, and running
the ball. The ball wasn't coming out. Sometimes
it was stunningly bad.
So I'm
looking forward to tomorrow.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So going into tomorrow, like, it's still OTAs. He's going to bounce summer.
Back. He's going to bounce.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. But he's going to bounce.
What if he looks worse? What if he looks?
I'm not tweeting it. Fuck that.
It's impossible for him to look worse. Literally impossible. We'll never
deal with that again.
We saw the bottom.
Because the thing I told Hogue was like, I just want to hear this report of like, wow, this is different. And instead, when you guys came back Friday, it was like all those things I've heard throughout my whole life.
New like
all
pieces.
I know, and I get all the rationalizations, but we've done that so many times.
Dude, Matt,
with other. They're working on. Hey, you don't know what plays they're running.
Of course you don't.
You don't like it. We've done these rationalizations so many times in our lives.
Listen,
and I do have supreme faith. I mean, we just went through this exercise of how much confidence I have in. What's going to happen this year for the Bears, but
just for you tomorrow, we'll tell you that everybody dominated the OTA. Everyone dominated it. That'll be the show tomorrow. Everyone dominated.
I'm just going to tweet.
Nate Davis was phenomenal. He wasn't there. But he took an amazing shit in the
next to Bear Tree. Next to Bear Tree.
He sat down. He focused. He was great. Everything was great. All right.
Let's get some super chats.
Bear Down Omaha, $2. Can we get totally meddling on the show? Love y'all.
PC Bears fan, settle down, Captain Sweatpants.
We love when the bulge comes in. $2 for Pizzy Tola. Brags. Can you please table smash Carm now? Pizzy Tola? You still are my Pizzy Tola. Even when you support violence on me, you jerk. $9.99 for Big Cram. We read that one. Where's Bajit? Ha ha ha. Big Cram. Get that. Big Cram. That avatar is vile. If you flipped me around there, you would have seen a huge zit on Greg's back.
I thought you were going to say remember the guy's ass crack was hanging out behind us?
Yes.
They were doing the.
Oh, yeah. That was horrible.
Dude. Like, how could he not feel that breeze? I just do not understand.
It was halfway down.
It was literally halfway. His ass was out.
Never seen more ass at anything than we saw at what was
Super
that?
Bowl, right?
At
Super Bowl.
They
had a podcast set up. The dude was sitting down, and like his ass was basically
Radio Row.
That's when I saved Carm from being canceled because he wanted to put that on Twitter. He wanted to put this dude's ass crack on Twitter. I was like, do not do this, Mark.
You did give me that piece of advice, and I listened.
Maybe you might still have the photo somewhere, but
thank you. Thank you for your incredibly well-balanced perspective that you always bring to the table. $1.99, Big Cram. Okay, now rank them by facial hair.
This is for the head coaches.
Oh, Flus is number 1, Big Cram.
Then LaFleur would be 2. He's always got a...
The others are not even in the photo. Flus is 1. Got best facial hair.
Flus is 1.
Chubbs 82, $10. My guy, the Lions will have a losing record this year. How come your friends like Carmi V never point that out? That we beat the crap out of them for 117 minutes of the 2 games and Goff threw 7 picks.
Bears
have had the Bears have had the Lions number.
Yeah,
I mean they should. And one of the worst losses this year should have had them.
It's definitely part of the reason why I'm like, I'll take Caleb Williams over Jared Goff based off of what we see when we play him. I'm like,
looks like a completely
ain't shit. I don't care how many yards he passes for.
Chubbs 82, $2. Chase Claypool had a good rookie year. That's a tremendous Jordan Addison counterpoint by you, Chubbs. I don't think those two are one and the same. $5, but good point. $5 from Jason McKenna. Search your soul. In all honesty, if Bagent was outperforming Williams in every metric, would he be the starter? I doubt it because of job policy. They're not starting Tyson Bagent.
But if he
Jason.
was outperforming him in every metric,
Like, is this during the season?
Mark
Like, when is
Carman,
this?
he's saying right now,
No.
you would know on this show because Mark Carman would be singing about it.
So here's my Bagent prediction for you. You ready? That could impact the Bears in a good way. Albeit it'll be a sad day. But let's just say hypothetically, Caleb has to miss a couple games. Bagent's video right now is so good that I think if he of course he won 2 games last year, and looking back on it, probably should have stuck with him. Maybe they would have been a playoff team. Anyway, and you knew you were moving on from Justin anyway, and you weren't going to get anything from him anyway. Stick with Tyson. That's what the OC wanted to do. But regardless, I say if he gets an opportunity this year, he plays well enough that the Bears can do a Jimmy Garoppolo level trade and get a draft pick for Tyson Bagent. The Bears
Jimmy Garoppolo trade.
The Bears will get a draft pick in next year's draft for Tyson Bagent.
I think the better comparison would be who's the backup the Packers had, Matt Flynn, that ended up getting signed to a huge contract by Seattle. That's the better comparison.
There's
than
another
Garoppolo.
There you go.
I remember that.
Because Garoppolo was proven, right? A little more.
Yes, he was. He played more. He
played more.
That's
So I think the Matt Flynn thing where he came in for a couple games at the end of the year, played well, and that parlayed him into Seattle where he was immediately benched for Russell Wilson,
yeah.
and they paid all that money to Matt Flynn.
Crazy times.
Did you see the Bagent video?
I saw it. It was a late throw.
Which was a late throw?
The video. You just asked me if I saw the video. I did.
What was the late throw?
Little out route to the right.
There were 10
I just saw
throws.
one.
You didn't see shit. All right. Hey, OTAs tomorrow. I think we mentioned that. Show's at 3:00. So
I'll be at
Golfing?
Wrigley Field. Nope. I'll be at Wrigley Field working and drinking here for CHGO Sports. Friday 120 Club. We're starting our day at Murphy's Bleachers.
Ooh.
So if you want to come out, hang with me. We'll call Carman. If you come to Murphy's tomorrow morning, we will call Mark Carman while he's at Hallis Hall and get our own updates as things are progressing at OTAs.
Aren't we having a big event next Tuesday night?
Well, that's exactly where I was segueing to. So if you can't make it out tomorrow for Friday 120 Club, which my daughter's going to be there. It's her 6th birthday. Very excited to sing happy birthday to Addison in the bleachers at Wrigley Field. But on Tuesday, the Cubs and Sox, our CHGO Cubs and CHGO Sox, having a crosstown takeover June 4th at 5 p.m. We're starting once again at Murphy's Bleachers. Gonna have some fun. There's tickets still available if you go to allchgo.com/events. If you're a diehard, you can get a discount on said event. If you become a diehard, you can get a discount and a free shirt.
We've gone 2 days with no diehards. It hurts my heart. Become a diehard. Come out to Wrigley next week. You get a discount on the event. You get a free T-shirt. It just paid for itself in one split second.
I have exclusive content for the diehards on Keenan and how he destroyed the NFC North last season with the Chargers. That's worth it right there in itself. So become a diehard, get all the discounts, and get all the exclusive content.
I mean, you could read Nick's diehard content and be just like Greg Braggs.
If someone becomes a diehard right now, I will give you, whoever that is, DM me. I'll give you Mark Carman's cell phone number. I will. And the other event that you got to look out for is Cubs. We're going to Milwaukee the end of June. June 29th, right, Steven?
June 29th.
June 29th, Saturday. We're taking a bus from here. Then we're meeting out in Waukegan at Circa Sportsbook. Taking a stop there.
Shit, that's my hometown.
To pick up. Some of the people are going to meet us here. Then some of the patrons are going to meet us at Circa Sportsbook in Waukegan. And we're going to go out from there all the way to Milwaukee where we're going to pay the bills for the goddamn Milwaukee Brewers who the Cubs are losing to right now. Cubs are ruining my life currently. But we can have a lot of fun as we ride out to Milwaukee and have some fun, taking in a ball game, watching the Cubs try to beat Adam Hogue's Milwaukee Brewers. So once again, go to allchgo.com/events. I'll be on that trip, so you can hang out with me. Mark's going to go as well. So
the only thing I want to do in my life that I haven't done is be on a bus with Greg Braggs for as long as possible. In fact, like if we could take a bus to London, I'd ride with you, buddy. All right. Nicholas Moreano does not have an OnlyFans page, but you never know about the future. The man's very talented.
That we know of.
Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We hope you were entertained. We actually don't hope. We know you were because the show was amazing, as per always, damn it.
You didn't like this show.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
Choke on a ham sandwich.
We'll see you tomorrow from OTAs. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
We all silly like the mayor.